Today's video, we're going to learn about superposition. So the objective of, of this video today is to solve a circuit with multiple power source by superposition. So it's another method of solving or analyze a circuit instead of other methods that we have seen before. For example, before we have used nodal analysis and mesh analysis to solve a circuit like this, but instead of using nodal analysis and mesh analysis, we could use other method as well. And this method that we're going to see today is what we call a superposition. So what superposition is, it is basically a method where we simplify the calculation by doing multiple partial solution before arriving at the final solution. Okay, so what is a partial solution? Partial solution is when we try to solve the circuit, analyze the circuit, when it is only affected by one supply at a time. We know that when, like in the exercises that we have seen before, we usually have a circuit where there is more multiple power supply, and in order to solve them, we use a nodal or mesh analysis. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to focus more on the power sources, and we'll try to solve it by doing a calculation for one power sources at a time, right? So this superposition method, it is basically applied to a linear circuit. It can be used only for linear circuit. That means that it is a circuit where components involve linear components. So for example, resistors, voltage and current supply, which are linear, capacitors, inductors in linear range, of course, and linear amplifier. But it is not applicable for circuit with non-linear component with on-off characteristic, for example, as diode or transistors. Okay, so now let's look directly into the method. How do we apply this superposition method to solve a circuit analysis? So the method is, like I said before, there will be at the end a final solution. At the end, the final solution is basically the sum of partial solution and this partial solution is basically done by by only considering one power supply at a time, right? That means if in a circuit you have n power supply, power source, it means you will have to do you have to do a partial solution for you're gonna have n partial solution, and your final solution is basically the sum of this n partial solution, right? For example, let's say for this particular circuit, how many power supply do you have? We have one voltage supply over here, and we have two current sources on the right and top side of the circuit. So there is three power source. That means we will have to do equation or calculations on three partial solution. We will have three partial solution, and then the sum of all three partial solutions are basically the final solution for the whole circuit, right? So let's try an example to see how this works, right? For the purpose of example, we will do something with an easier circuit. There up here we have a 4 mesh circuit we'll try something with only two mesh circuit that you already know how to solve them using nodal and mesh analysis, right? So let's take an example of two mesh circuit with two power sources. So imagine you have a power supply, a voltage supply US, which is equal to 10 volt on one side. You have a resistance R1 equal to 10 ohm here, connected to another resistance of R2 equals to 5 ohm, and then another power source, but this time instead of having a voltage source, you have a current source, right? You have current source IS equals to, let's say it is 1 amp, and that is the complete circuit. So let's say the question is, it asks us to find what is the voltage that goes across R2. So the question is find U R2, right? So find U R2. You know, but by now, you know, you can use nodal or mesh analysis to solve a circuit. It's pretty simple. But in this exercise, we're going to try to solve it using superposition. So superposition, first step is to basically create partial solution for one power supply, and then the next partial solution for the next power supply, and so on and so forth. So here we have two power sources, right? One US and one IS. That means you have two partial solution. So the first partial solution, let's say what we're gonna do for partial solution, we'll take this partial solution for we're gonna consider only in the circuit where we only have US. Let's say it's only US, and then US is 10 volts. When we consider only US, it means other power supply, we will make it equals to 0. So IS now is 0 in the first partial solution. So what happened when IS equals to 0? If you look at the circuit, when IS equals to 0, what happened is you're saying that the current that goes into the IS branch is 0. When it means it's 0, it also means that it is basically an open circuit. It is a circuit that is not connected, where current cannot circulate. That's what IS equals 0 to 0 means. Current equal to 0 means no current can circulate. It means you can consider that the conductor is non-existent. We can therefore redraw a new circuit for the first partial solution. So you have US that maintains to exist, and you have R2 that is still there. But this time, what happened in IS 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 equals to 0. So it's an open circuit, right? When you say that it's an open circuit, it is not connected. So it is the same thing as if you don't even have this part, right? So this is the circuit for the first partial solution. So what do we do now? So we solve this circuit in order to find the parameters that we're interested in. The parameters that we're interested in was UR2. So UR2 in the first partial solution, I'm going to call this UR2 as UR2A for the first partial solution A. UR2A. So how do I calculate UR2A? Now, in order to solve this, you can use whatever theorem or whatever properties that we have learned before that is already on your knowledge bag. So for example, we can see that it is UR2 can be calculated using voltage divider properties, right? So UR2A is basically equals to, you can write UR2A is basically R2 over the sum of resistance, which is in series with it, is R1 plus R2 multiplied by US. So that's UR2A equals. So what is it equal to? If you do the calculation using the parameters that's given, UR2A basically equals to 3.33 volts. So that is for UR2A. This is the solution, the first partial solution. Once we've done that, what we can do is we can go to the next partial solution. The next partial solution is when you turn on IS. So say here, I'm going to call second partial solution. Second partial solution is when you turn off, this time you're going to concentrate only on IS. So we're going to turn off US, US equal to 0, but IS is kept on, so IS is equal to 1 amp. So we can redraw the circuit for the second partial solution. So how does it look like to have US equals to 0 and IS equal to 1 amp? US equals to 0 means voltage equals to 0. So what does it mean to have a voltage equal to 0? Voltage means potential difference between 2 points. When you say that the potential difference between 2 points is 0, it means that 2 points are basically the same points, right? The energy between 2 points equals to 0. It means, well, the energy difference between point A and point B equals to 0. It means both points are basically the same point. So when they are the same point, what we can draw is basically it is just a conductor. You don't have US, but you have a short circuit, what we call a short circuit. When IS equals to 0, previously this is what we call an open circuit. When US equals to 0, it is now what we call short circuit, because previously we have 2 points between here and here. We say US equals to 10 volts, but now we say US equals to 0 volt. It means this point and this point has the same potential energy, so it is basically the same point. Okay, so it is a short circuit. It is just a conductor connected to each other, right? One conductor all the way long. So next, you still have R1, and then you still have R2, and on the other side, there is IS that we maintain, right? IS, which is equals to 1 amp. So now the same thing as in first partial solution. The solution that we want to find out is what is UR2 equals to. But now UR2, I'm going to call it as UR2B, because it is the UR2 to the second partial solution. So let's calculate what UR2B is. If we look at the circuit, if I want to calculate UR2B, the circuit can be redrawn as R2 and R1 is basically in parallel. If you can see that, it will be easier if I redraw it like this. I have R1 on one side, R2 on the other side, and then they are in parallel and connected to the power supply IS, right? So UR2 is the UR2B is the voltage between the terminal of the parallel resistance R1 and R2. So if before in partial solution 1, what you need to use was voltage divider properties, now what we need to use is the properties of parallel resistances that you have to transform into resistance, equivalent resistance. So if you want to find UR2 now, it is quite obvious and easy. UR2B is therefore equals to R equivalent multiplied by IS, with R equivalent equals to 1 over 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. So everything multiplied by IS. And if you do the calculation, you're going to find out that R equivalent multiplied by IS will be equals to, so UR2B equals to 3.33 volts. So this is the solution for the second partial circuit, second partial solution. So have we done yet? No. What we need to do at the end is, so we have considered the two power supply, US and IS. We have done both partial solution. So the final solution, write it up right here. So the final solution is the sum of both partial solution. So UR2 equals to UR2 found in first partial solution plus UR2 of second partial solution. So if you do the numerical sum of it, 3.33 volts plus 3.33 volts, you're going to find out that UR2 at the end finally equals to 6.66 volts. So that's how you do, you solve a circuit analysis using superposition method. So if I have to recap again, what you need to do, the most important thing is to identify where are your power sources, how many power sources do you have. Once you have identified how many power sources do you have, it means you would have to create the same number of partial solution. And in identifying that partial solution, what you need to do is to switch off the power sources that is not considered. For example, here, if you don't consider a current supply, it means you're going to transform it into an open circuit. And if you have to disregard a voltage supply, and then it will become a short circuit. So this is very important. If IS equals to 0, that means the part where you had IS, it will become open circuit because no current circulates. But for for parts where you're going to consider that voltage equal to 0, voltage to 0 equals to 0 means it is a short circuit where current can goes without any voltage drop, right? So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next video where we'll try to solve circuit with multiple power sources again, but not with superposition method, with what we call source conversion method using Thevenin and Norton theorem. Thank you very much.